The longbow is our open ocean racer and has all the bells and whistles to be right up there with some of the biggest name brands for less than half the price. Let's see what has made this board the apex of our range so far. We're going to go over a few details of this board, like who this board is going to be best for, how it compares to other boards in our range, details on the shape, as well as everything you get in the package deal, as well as all the extra details you may want to know about this board. The longbow is the latest addition to our SUP range, and like many boards in our range, it's gone through many tweaks and changes to get it to the point where we're happy with it today. Some of the main changes is the volume and the thickness of the board, but also keeping the rider standing position nice and low, right near the waterline, allowing for an efficient paddle, stable, with a low centre of gravity. So how does it compare to the competition? If you've looked at carbon race boards, 12'6" or 14 foot, you'll see that some of these boards can go for the many thousands. So with our board, you're going to get the carbon race board as well as a tailored bag, and we also have optional extras for carbon fiber paddles, all for as little as under £1,500. So that's a hell of a deal compared to the competition. And speaking of the paddles, we've got two different carbon fiber paddle options, a medium-sized blade and a small blade, depending on the size of the paddler. If we have a look at the outline, it hasn't changed too much throughout the years, but what we have changed is the thickness and also the rocker line. We found lessening the rocker has made it much faster in flat water conditions. Something else we've kept similar is also the concave on the bottom. Okay, so hopefully you guys can see we've kept the single concave that we've had since the very start. Slight alterations, we made it a little bit deeper, but we found this keeps it tracking in a straight line and also keeps that speed up. The concave continues all the way to the tail of the board for maximum release. The concave has the added benefit of making this board feel much more stable. So you may be thinking a 24.5" wide board seems quite narrow, but it's more comparable to a 26 or a 28" wide board in terms of stability. So looking at the nose, it's a lot more rounded than our last few designs. This is to keep your speed in choppier conditions and also those downwind conditions. So this is going to have the added benefit of stopping your nose from digging in those downwind conditions. And keeping your nose out of the water is key for an efficient paddle. Once you lose the nose, you lose the speed and direction. So the rails haven't changed throughout the years. We've kept these nice and boxy. This helps with stability and also utilizes the outline of the board. So lots of people ask us about this. This is the self-regulating valve. So if you ever take your board on an airplane or even on a hot day on the beach, the air inside the board will want to expand or contract. So this will regulate it and just keep it at its optimal. You never have to touch it and it just does it all by itself. The longbow is available in 12'6" and 14 foot. This is the 12'6" version. In 14 foot, we have it in a narrow width and a wider width. We also have the package options of the paddleboard, and whether it's the 12'6" or the 14 foot version, they're all carbon fiber. So like all our paddleboards in our range, they come with tailored paddleboard bag. Nice big chunky zips, and these are going to be ideal for storing your paddleboard or also transporting to and from the water, whether that be lakes, rivers, or even the sea. And all of these bags are waterproof and UV resistant. As well as the bag, you also get all of the fins that you will need on the board, as well as a coiled leash. So we have the optional extra of the carbon fiber paddles. These are all fixed length paddles, so you'll need to cut them to the correct length for yourself, who knows their paddle length and wants to get the best performance they can out of their paddle. So the longbow is going to be the board for those paddlers who want to take things to the next level. You've mastered the basics and you're looking to get the most out of your board in terms of speed or distance, or even want to make paddleboarding part of their exercise routine. For those of you interested in this board, I've left a link in the description. If you're more into your surf SUP, maybe check out our Widowmaker review.